A vizier is a high-ranking political advisor or minister. The Abbasid caliphs gave the title vizier to a minister formerly called katib, who was at first merely a helper, but afterwards became the representative and successor of the dapir of the Sassanian kings. In modern usage, the term has been used for ministers in the Arab world: Iran, Turkey, East Africa, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Tajikistan and Uzbekistan. It is also specially used in the only absolute Asian monarchy, the House of Bolkiah of Brunei, with the title Prime Vizier of Perdana Wazir in Brunei Malay as the head of all viziers. It is given to the current King Hassan al-Bolkiah's second brother, the Prime Vizier Muhammad Bolkiah. In Brunei, an ordinary vizier is known as Pengarang Temenggung. Etymology: the word entered into English in 1562 from the Turkish vizier, derived from the Arabic wazir. Vizier itself has two possible etymologies. The most accepted etymology is that it is derived from the Arabic wazara, from the Semitic root wzr. The word is mentioned in the Quran, where Aaron is described as the vizier of Moses, as well as the word wizr, which is also derived from the same root. On the other hand, the presence of a Middle Persian word vizier of Isha, cognate to the Avestan vizira, meaning decreer or arbitrator, could possibly indicate an Indo-European origin. In modern Turkey, there is no usage of vizier for any ministry as suggested in the description above. Historical ministerial titles. The Muslim office of vizier, which spread from the Arabs, Persians, Turks, Mongols and neighboring peoples, arose under the first Abbasid caliphs. The vizier stood between sovereign and subjects, representing the former in all matters touching the latter. The term has been used in two very different ways, either for a unique position, the prime minister at the head of the monarch's government, or as a shared cabinet rank, rather like a British Secretary of State. If one such vizier is the prime minister, he may hold the title of Grand Vizier or another title. In Islamic states in Muslim Persia, the prime minister under the political authority of the Shahanshah was commonly styled Vazir-e-Azam, and various ministers held cabinet rank as Vizier, including a Vazir-i-Daftar and a Vazir-i-Lashkar. In Al-Andalus, appointed by the Caliph of Cordoba. Similarly, in many of the emirates and sultanates of the Taifas, which the caliphate was broken up into. In Muslim Egypt, the most populous Arab country, under the Fatimid caliphs, again since the effective end of Ottoman rule, remarkably since 1857, Isma Pasha was raised Khedive, exchanged for the Western prime ministers on the 28th of August 1878. During the days of the Ottoman Empire, the Grand Vizier was the often de facto ruling prime minister, second only to the Sultan, and was the leader of the Divan, the Imperial Council. Vizier was also the title of some Ottoman provincial governors, use of the title often indicating a greater degree of autonomy for the province involved and the greater prestige of the title holder. In the Sharifan Kingdom of Morocco, of Sadr al-Azam was in office until the 22nd of November 1955, replaced since the 7th of December 1955. A prime minister, vizier, was the style of a minister of state. In the Hashemite Kingdom of Hejaz, the sole vizier was the future second king Ali ibn Hussein al-Hashimi, under his father Hussein ibn Ali al-Hashimi, maintained after the assumption of the caliphal style. In the Regency of Tunisia, under the Hussein dynasty, various ministers of the Bey, including Wazir al-Akbar, Great Minister, i.e., Grand Vizier, Chief Minister, Prime Minister, Wazir al-Amala, Minister for the Interior, Wazir al-Bahr, Minister of the Sea, i.e., for the Navy, Marine, Wazir al-Harb, Minister for the Army, a Minister for War, Wazir al-Istishara, Minister Counselor, Wazir al-Kalam, Minister of the Pen, Wazir ud-Dawla, Minister of State, Wazir Shura, Privy Councillor. In Oman, the Hami Sultan's chief minister was styled Vizier till 1966, but in 1925 to 1932 there was also instead a chairman of the Council of Ministers. Since 1970 the style is Prime Minister. Viziers to the Sultans of Zanzibar, since 1890 filled by British, also known as First Ministers, the British resident an extremely direct form of indirect rule. Grand Viziers to the Sultan of Sokoto. This is however disputed. The title Waziri is apparently a derivative of this word, and is a highly regarded chieftaincy title in most of northern Nigeria. Indeed, most of the emirs in northern Nigeria have a Waziri, who is usually a high-ranking advisor to the emir. In pre- and colonial India many rulers, even some Hindu princes, had a vizier as chief minister, compared even Nawab Wazir, Pradhan, etc. In the Sultanate of the Maldives, the prime minister was styled Bodu Vizier, and various ministers held cabinet rank as Vatsyarin, including Hakura, Shabanda, Vela Anna. In Afghanistan, under the Durrani dynasty, the chief minister was styled Vazir-i-Azam or Wazir-i-Azam. The Vazir-i-Darbar Wazir al-Darbar was the minister of the royal court. Modern post-monarchy use. Vizier is the standard Arabic word for government minister. Prime ministers are usually termed Rais al-Wazara or al-Wazir al-Awal. The latter term is generally found in the Maghreb, while the former is typical of usage in the Mashriq. Thus, for example, the Prime Minister of Egypt is in Arabic a Wazir. In Brunei the vizier is known as Pangeran Bendahara. In Iran the ministers of government are called Vazir in Persian, and Prime Minister of State before the removal of the post was called as Nokhost Vazir. In Pakistan, the Prime Minister is called Vazir-i-Azam, other ministers are styled Vazirs. In India, Vazir is the official translation of minister in the Urdu language, and is used in ministerial oath-taking ceremonies conducted in Urdu. In East Africa, Kenya and Tanzania, ministers are referred to as Waziri in Kiswahili and Prime Ministers as Waziri Mkuu. In the Nation of Islam, Louis Farrakhan is sometimes given the honorific title of Vizier. Current viziers of Brunei. In Brunei, viziers are divided into 5 titles. 2 its remains vacant since Brunei independence. The current head of vizier Perdana Wazir of Brunei is Prince Muhammad Bolkiah. His full title is His Royal Highness Perdana Wazir Sahibul Himma Wal Waka Prince Haji Muhammad Bolkiah. His Royal Highness Pangeran Bendahara Seri Maharaja Pamesuara Prince Haji Sufri Bolkiah. His Royal Highness Pangeran Digadong Sahibul Mal Prince Haji Jeffrey Bolkiah. Pangeran Pamancha Sahibul Ray Walmashara vacant. Pangeran Temangong Sahibul Bafa vacant. Anachronistic historical use. It is common, even among historians, to apply contemporary terms to cultures whose own authentic titles are insufficiently known. In this case to pre-Islamic antiquity. In ancient Egypt the highest-ranking government official, appointed by the pharaoh and acting as his chancellor, is called vizier by modern researchers. The term is also used for the chief administrators of Upper and Lower Egypt during the times when the administration of the country was headed by 2 officials. Thus there was a vizier for the north, and a vizier for the south. However, at times the viceroy of Nubia or the high priest of Amun rose to equal or even superior power. Some pharaohs are even believed to have lost real political preeminence to the kingmakers. Thus in modern language translations of the Bible, in Genesis chapter 41, Joseph, the 11th son of Jacob, is called vizier to Pharaoh. In this same chapter of Genesis, Pharaoh changed his newly appointed vizier's name to Zaphion of Thpania. The term is used to designate the highest official of the kingdom of Abla. princely title. In the rare case of the Indian princely state of Jafarabad, ruled by Thanadars, in 1702 a state called Janjira was founded, with rulers styled vizier, when in 1762, Jafarabad and Janjira states entered into personal union. Both titles were maintained until the higher style of Nawab was assumed. Art. In contemporary literature and pantomime, the Grand Vizier is a character stereotype and is usually portrayed as a scheming backroom plotter and the clear power behind the throne of a, usually bumbling or incompetent monarch. A well-known example of this is the sinister character of Jafar in the Disney animated film Aladdin, who plots and uses magic to take over the entire kingdom of Agrabah under the nose of the nation's naive sultan. Just as Jafar in the 1940 movie The Thief of Baghdad dethroned his master, Caliph Ahmed. Others include Zigzag from The Thief and the Cobbler. The comic book character is no good. Prince Sinbad's advisor Yusuf in the DC Vertigo series Fables, and the villains of the video games Prince of Persia and King's Quest VI, air today, gone tomorrow. Perhaps the origin of this character archetype is the biblical account of Esther. The book details the rise of a Jewish woman to Queen of Persia, and her role in stopping the plot of Haman, chief advisor to the Persian king, to wipe out all Jews living in Persia. Throughout history, the notion of the sinister Grand Vizier has often been invoked when a political leader appears to be developing a cozy relationship with a spiritual advisor of questionable scruples or talents. This stereotype is frequently mentioned in Terry Pratchett's Discworld series, as for example in both Sorcery and Interesting Times. Fictional Grand Viziers. Ahoshta Tarkhan, Lord Intef, Vizier of Egypt, Grand Vizier of Chaos, Isnogud, Jafar, Nerubian Vizier, Vizier Kilbron, Yusuf, Zigzag, Radama Circle, Edris 562, Grand Vizier Atan World of Warcraft, Cataclysm, Grand Vizier Sate Pastage in the Galactic Empire of Star Wars, Grand Bio-Vizier, Vizier the Terrible, Grand Vizier Al-Zahir. Some famous viziers in history: Jafar ibn Khalid of Harun al-Rashid, Amir Kabir of the Qajar dynasty in Iran history, Hassan Vizier of the Ghaznavid dynasty in Iran history, Nizam al-Mulk of Malik Shah I in Iran history, Pargali Ibrahim Pasha of the Ottoman Empire, Sokulu Mehmet Pasha of Ottoman Empire, Koprulu Mehmet Pasha and his son Koprulu Faisal Ahmet Pasha of Ottoman Empire. Influence on chess. In Shatranj, from which modern chess developed, the piece corresponding to the modern chess queen was often called vizier. Up to the present, the word for the queen piece in chess is still vazir in Persian, vizier in Turkish, vizier in Arabic, and vezirkutar in Hungarian.